Hi, I'm Victor Margiotta, and this is the Community Show. We are on location at the Supervisor's office in the town of Cortlandt. Dr. Richard Becker has graciously let us come in and do a show, and we're going to talk about what's going on in the town of Cortlandt. So, thanks, Doc.
Good to see you, Victor.
You too.
Thank you for inviting me.
Oh, this is great. I can't help it. How are the grandkids?
Grandkids, I have one granddaughter,
okay.
Emmy. She just turned a year. She's doing great. So,
that's good.
knock on wood, as they say. All good.
Well, the family is the cornerstone of the community, and it's so important that we take care of our kids and, of course, our seniors.
Yes.
And the town of Cortlandt does a wonderful job with both. So.
Yeah, we have a very, very active senior program. For example, last week we had the Academy Awards, and it was a great event because they dressed up, they danced, they had a good time. 140 people showed up, so it was a very large event. We have a very active senior program in Verplank that meets as well, and it's wonderful. They're so involved.
Yeah. Now, do you have to register?
Yeah, but everyone's welcome.
Okay,
so it's just a question that you show up. We have Dawn Mahoney and Becky Ferguson will take care of you. They've been known in the community for years.
Yeah. I actually went on the website, and it's beautiful. All the services are on there. Everything is great. All you have to do is punch in Town of Cortlandt, and it comes up.
That's correct. We've been spending a lot of time, and there's more coming to make it even easier. I really want people to be involved and know what's going on. When I first took office, I would hear from everybody, what's going on? We don't hear anything.
Yeah.
So we started the newsletter. That comes out every Friday at 4 o'clock. And we start off with a few hundred people. We're up to almost 13,000 people open it every Friday.
Excellent.
So that's great. And we have a very active website that we've upgraded several times, and we're in a final upgrade now. We also do our new, we used to call it the rec brochure, but now we call it the planner. So we have a spring planner, fall planner. The spring and summer one will be coming out shortly. It's available online. It gets mailed to everybody. But it's really geared not just for kids and recreation anymore. That's the first part. The middle part is active adult. Pickleball and tennis and yoga and photography and chess and so many sports and activities, baseball, basketball for active adults. And then we have the final section, which is seniors, and it lists just so many events throughout the year.
I was amazed at the fact that they will pick the seniors up to bring them to the community center.
Yes, we have an active, and we also help our seniors getting to their doctor's appointments. We have an active social service program that helps the seniors.
Yeah, so don't hesitate to go and use these services. That's what they're there for.
You know, they're a lot of fun. I didn't realize the seniors go, they have a blast.
Yeah.
You know, it's not the old days of bingo. It's very, very active with it group, you know.
Yeah, that's great. And the youth center it's over by the police
The youth center is
department.
near the train station on Memorial Drive.
Okay.
That's very active as well. When I first came into office, we built the new skating rink, and that was very popular, but I went there last summer, and of course it's empty, and I said, that's a waste of space. So we turned the interior space into 5 brand new pickleball courts. And that's been magnificent because most of the time when you do pickleball, people are concerned about the noise, bothering neighbors, and it ends with sunset. Here we have lights that can go till 10, 11 o'clock at night. There are no neighbors. I mean, the trains are much louder, and it is busy all the time. So that site is now year-round very busy.
Now, Muriel H. Marbito, she was named after the community center. Can you tell them?
Yeah, Muriel Marbito was the first woman supervisor in the town of Cortlandt.
Yeah.
And so the building was named after her. And Linda Puglisi, the building we're in, Town Hall, because she was supervisor for 30 years, is now the Puglisi. So it's nice to recognize people who serve the community for so long.
It is very nice. And even Charles DiGiacomo was recognized.
Yes. His daughter, I just mentioned, runs the senior program, Dawn Mahoney. And we named the park on Croton Avenue where we have 4 pickleball courts. There's also a playground there with basketball and jungle gym and other things.
Charles was such a great guy.
He was
really
a good guy.
Good
I think he was supervisor for about 8 or 10 years. Yeah.
Summer's coming, and young people are going to be looking for jobs.
Yeah, we employ a lot of the youth. They work mainly in our summer camp at the Cook Pool
Yeah.
as counselors in training, counselors, lifeguard. We actually train everyone for lifeguards. Most of the kids come back year after year. We also offer internships at Town Hall. And that's exciting to have young people come and learn about different careers and see how offices work. And so, and they make a little summer money too.
Yeah, I actually was lucky enough to work on the sanitation department 82, 83, and used the money to go to college. So
it's a good way to learn. You know, work is work. It's
Yeah,
hard,
right.
and
Well,
it's very maturing for the kids.
It is.
And they have to learn how to work with other people, which is an important skill.
I actually made a lot of lifelong friends working there at the town.
Absolutely,
So,
yeah.
And it's funny, Pat Scanlon just retired, and he gives me a call. He's like, "Hey, I heard you play golf." So we
There you go.
we got together about 5 times this year. So
Yeah.
and looking forward to getting together again this summer. So hi, Pat.
Good for you.
Yeah. Speaking of lifeguard, where would they go for the training? Right at the Cook Pool?
We take care of it. Our director of the pool trains people. The county has training programs as well. There's a tremendous need for lifeguards, and it's a great skill if you get certified.
Oh, yeah.
And it's not that hard. And and there's a lot of camaraderie working with other lifeguards, and it's a wonderful training program.
Yeah. What's good about the Cook Pool, they rotate. I did it for 2 years at lifeguard. And just sitting there, I worked at a local pool, and it was only 2 of us. So you'd sit there sometimes 3 hours.
No, that's not safe. It's,
15 minutes felt like an eternity.
You get mesmerized. No, we rotate, and we have them do various different activities, and you're part of a team.
Yeah.
And they watch the clock very carefully to make sure everyone is sharp and alert. Anyone who's interested, just call the rec department here at Town Hall. Go online at townofcortland.com. It'll have all the information there.
Excellent. And there's so much going on at the Cook Pool, too. There's the mini golf.
Yeah, it's really turned into a center of activity. There's miniature golf that's there. Brand new bathhouse was upgraded. We redid the pool last year. There are tennis courts. A lot of activities for kids. The summer camp is there. There are indoor activities as well. So it's a busy place. Also, one thing that's not well known in town is a wonderful nature trail. I'm going to put up better signage now so people can see it. You walk into this trail, you'll think you're in the Adirondacks. You're deeply in the woods. It's well laid out and it's well guided, but you are perfectly alone. You'll feel like you're in the Adirondacks.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
All right, hopefully we don't have to worry about bears. But,
No bears. just be careful walking. It's a real nature trail.
Yeah. It's just amazing how much the town has to encompass, between taxing and building codes and, sanitation, and it's just the roads. Let's talk about the roads real quick. I know right now potholes are a little bit of an issue.
They always are. We stay on top of it. We have a new pothole program, and people can report them very quickly. You can do it right online, or you can call our staff. We'll just take care of it. We actually have a better system. The old days, they would just come and pour asphalt into the hole, and it would create itself again a year from now.
Yeah.
Now we cut out a larger section. They call it keying, making cuts at an angle and squaring them up, and then laying a good foundation before the asphalt. And those repairs are permanent. And we have a whole system and equipment to do that now. And we try to pave. We do at least $1 million a year of paving. Wow. But the town of Cortland's 50 square miles. It's got over 200 miles of roads. It takes a lot, but we have a huge highway department that does a tremendous job.
Yeah. So don't be afraid to call and say
no, we want to know about it.
Yeah.
In fact, we're working on an app for phones that will be coming out, hopefully within the next few months, that you can report things like potholes and trees down or any accident, and with a click on your iPhone or Android, you'll be able to report it to us right away, and we'll respond right away.
Yeah, because we just recently had a pretty good windstorm that knocked down a few trees. And,
Yeah, our crews were out overnight, a lot of overtime.
Yeah. Wow,
So, but we've initiated a system where we call it the department head meeting, where we meet very regularly, usually if not weekly, every other week, where all 12 department heads meet and we go over everything. Because if you talk about highway and they have a budget and they'll handle it, but then we have teams of the controller who watch the funds, and the assessors, and other departments, and our town engineers, and our technical service division, our planning division. So everything that comes up interacts with many, many, many different people.
Yeah, that's great. And you were saying what a great staff you have now.
I have a wonderful staff, and they're all dedicated. They all work very well together. I think they're dedicated to the town, to their jobs, and to me, so it's wonderful.
The thing is, it's a beautiful community, and for some reason, it seems like everybody knows each other, which is a wonderful thing.
A lot of people are born and raised in their communities, especially in the Tri-Village and Groton. But it is a very unique community. It's 50 square miles, and they're very different. T-Town, Continental Village, Mohegan Colony, Valeria, Amberland, Springvale. They all have a different feel to them, all different needs. Trying to keep everyone going. It's a full-time job
sure
plus.
Is. I know. Now, if somebody wants to do some work on their house, what would they do? I mean,
just come. You can go online, and we have a program now called OpenGov, and you can apply for your permits online. In our town, we have a Department of Technical Services and Code Division that will guide you through the whole thing. You have to, apply for the permits, but it's just the mechanical, going through the steps.
Right.
And we're there to guide you and help you, and make sure that it's done right to protect you.
Exactly, especially electricity,
Yes, yeah, you have to have a licensed electrician, licensed plumber. People don't realize how important that is, because you don't want to have a fire, you don't want to have a flood and lose your biggest investment. So we'll guide you to make sure that. Also, your insurance company would require it. So and every town does it. We're just trying very hard to make it easier.
That's right. That's great. It's getting to be garden season also. So what are you doing as far as composting?
Oh, we share that, Victor, the gardening, right? We both love it.
Oh, I do. I love it.
And but there, gardeners do home composting. So you take food scraps, but usually home gardeners will only take vegetables, orange and apples and things like that, leftover and aged lettuce, tomatoes, and you throw them in a bin, and magically, after a few months, it turns into black gold that's perfect for your garden.
Tell me about it. I'm big on the leaves. I actually go around the neighborhood and grab people's leaves and leave them out.
So you want brown material, green material. But most people don't do that. And what we're setting up, and it's through the county to start it, and we'll be giving it out sometime around Earth Day, so in April. We've ordered 200 buckets that people can keep on their counter so it doesn't smell.
Yeah.
And fruits and vegetables and even meat products, chicken, fish, can go in here. And then we'll have 2 drop-off sites, one at the Muriel Morabito Center on Westbrook Drive, and the other at the Youth Center on Memorial Drive.
Right.
And there'll be big buckets. You just dump it, take it home. We'll also provide some compostable garbage bags that fit in there. And the town will take it and bring it over to a commercial composting. And the reason it's great is people don't realize that fruits and vegetables and meat make up 75% of the weight of garbage. And the town pays a tipping fee for every pound of garbage that we have. Yeah. So if it goes to composting, we don't have to pay that. So if we were able to reduce the fees on that, save taxpayers money. Plus, it's very green because the compost is used for gardening and next year's vegetables. So it's got a great cycle to it. I want to be one of the few towns that actually does home pickup of garbage, of composting, and I hope to be able to roll that out in about a year. It's very complicated to set up that schedule because we already have one day where we pick up garbage, another day we pick up the commingles, another day we pick up paper garbage, and now we'd be adding composting, and we also do bulk pickups too. So, but I think we could work it out within the next year, where every week you'll be putting out your composting material. It'll save a ton of money, and it's very green. So
Without a doubt.
that's coming.
Okay. So bulk pickup.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a lot of places now, there's a thrift shop seems to be opening everywhere.
Yes.
A lot of times people throw away stuff they just don't have room for.
That's correct.
And which is good stuff.
Well, we've, you know, that is part of the green movement to recycle. And so there are a couple opportunities. One is you can use something like Let It Shine, which is in Verplank, where they actually have a thrift shop. The town of Cortlandt sponsors, and every year it's grown. It's a swap. People bring things and they can take things home, and it's all free. The idea is to give these items a second life. Last year we had thousands of people who came to the community center dropping off carloads of material, and at the end it was almost all gone. I even brought things home. I brought things in, I brought things home. There's no money that's transacted. It's just to help people find things. There are a lot of people who can't afford things, and a lot of the stuff is really good condition. I saw people bringing in mixers and garden equipment, and you give them a new life. But also clothing and furniture and kids' toys and books were very popular. Every book that came in was just about taken out. So that's a wonderful way of recycling.
Yeah, that sounds like an awesome thing.
So we do that every spring. We'll do it again this year. There's a company called in the Hat Factory building, which is actually a Peekskill location, but it's called Retake Remake, and that's for artist supplies. And people take all sorts of materials over there, and it's another place to recycle. So you know, you should think twice about throwing something out. It probably has a different purpose.
Yes, and I'm a huge believer in that. And the problem is clutter.
Yes.
That's the bottom line.
That's it.
I mean, and it's perfectly good, and you throw it out, and somebody can use it.
Especially for children, they wear something, they outgrow it in a few months.
Right.
It's in great condition, and there are people who need it.
Yeah.
So the swap is excellent for that. There's also a program that's coming out for textile recycling. It's going to be in the town of Cortlandt, where you can call a number. It's run by the county. They'll actually come to your house and pick it up. So clothing, rugs, towels, and dishes and dishware, all this would be picked up.
Yep.
And that's going to be this month too.
Awesome. Excellent. What's going on with Indian Point?
Indian Point is closed. It's shuttered. It's been decommissioned. It's at a very safe point. They've taken all the nuclear rods out of the reactors, put them in the cooling baths, and then they moved them to long-term storage, so everything is safe. That part is all done. Good. And now they're in a holding pattern because they've got 1.5 million gallons of tritiated water, and they don't know what to do with it. And this is a problem across the United States. There are 105 nuclear plants being decommissioned, and no one knows what to do with this water. So I've been working with some of their scientists. I'd love to be some of the first in the country to figure out a way to safely dispose of this water without contaminating another place.
Yeah. I know. It's it's one way or the other, But,
the federal government let us down. They were supposed to open Yucca Mountain, and they told everyone when they licensed all these plants. But the people around Yucca Mountain didn't want this, so they refused. They went to court, and it was denied. So now the United States government approved 105 nuclear plants without a plan. There have been proposals before the Senate to compensate communities called the Stranded Act, because this nuclear material is stranded, but it never passed. So everyone's in limbo.
All right. Well, hopefully
it's safe, but it'll probably be decades before that property can be redeveloped.
What's the toughest part of your job?
I don't know. I'm enjoying it. Maybe criticism, people who just knee-jerkly criticize, and I hate government, or I hate anything that's official. But most people are very kind. Most people understand. Most people are appreciative. I really like it. And we were talking earlier, I think the best part of the job for me is connecting people. They'll come in with a problem, and they don't know what to do. And I'll say, I know how to fix that. There's a guy who does that. And I would say I do that every day. and people who get stuck in a situation and they don't know how to solve it. And we can help move it along, and they're very grateful to have this lifted off their shoulders.
Yeah, it is. It's a great thing. And that's what government should be doing.
You know, I think so, and maybe because it's my doctor background,
Yeah.
but, you know, it's really neat to be able to, I know how to solve that, you know, or I can help you move through that.
Speaking of that, are you still practicing at all?
I do. Thursday mornings. I still keep a toe or a finger in it.
Right.
I love it. The patient. I don't see new patients unless someone I know asks me to do it. Most of the time, it's my patients who've been with me 20 years. They all live in the community, and it's good for me. It's a diversion, and I come back here after that. You just stay late into the evening to catch up. So when I walk in on Friday, I'm all caught up. I don't change this job. This is my full-time job.
Okay. So we were talking about a hotel somewhere in the town.
Yeah, there's a new hotel that's been proposed. The town board didn't have anything to do with it. The people who own the property made a deal with Marriott. Marriott Corporation's putting in, I think it's 93 rooms. It's on Route 6, just east of where the Burger King is and the Pikes Plaza. It's sorely needed. It went through the planning board. It got approved. There have been a lot of improvements on traffic on Route 6. I think we can accommodate it. A lot of the businesses in the area were asking for this. I'd love to take credit or blame for it, but it just, someone wanted to build a hotel. They came in and they could do it as what's called as of right, because it was allowed on a New York State road. Route 6 is State Road. But a lot of the businesses here, the restaurants and venues that have weddings, whether it's Monteverdi or Cortlandt Colonial or your business, others, they need a venue, a place to stay for their events, and I think that will satisfy this need.
Do they have a contractor, or Marriott usually has their
I
own?
think Marriott takes care of it. I don't know particularly who builds it. But they usually do a good job. I haven't been that involved again. Again, this is a private development, but a lot of support from the community for this.
And it's sorely needed, and it will benefit the town.
Yes.
So, okay. We were talking about how great the town is with snow removal. Not that we get a lot of snow anymore.
No, the highway department is out, and they're proactive. They put down a salt brine before the snow, before the ice. We watch the weather, we meet, and throughout any storm, we are constantly updating people. We know where the areas that usually get hit hard, or where there maybe a steep road or slippery road or highly traversed road, and we pay particular attention. But we try very hard that when people wake up for work the next morning, the roads are clear. Yes. So that's a big thing. Yeah. Very exciting this summer. In fact, on June 1st, we're going to be having a ribbon cutting for Plank at the Waterfront Park. We built a brand new stage. We got a $1 million grant, and so it was designed and built and didn't cost local taxpayers any money. And it's going to be a gorgeous venue. It's one of the only sites between New York City and Albany unencumbered by railroad tracks. So when you're there, you're safe. You don't hear the trains. They don't interrupt you. And boy, what a view.
Yeah,
Probably the nicest view anywhere.
Right. It was funny. You know, Bear Mountain, whenever I drive through there, I'm always thinking, why aren't there parasailers coming down off of there? What would probably be the reason why? For one, they have nowhere to land, right?
Yeah, I guess so. It's a state park, Bear Mountain, and I don't know what the rules are in the state.
Yeah, you know, and I actually tried to look it up, but I don't even think there's any in New York.
I don't know. Newport says around there they have the section called the Gunks, where they have these really steep cliffs, and I think there's some hang gliding and things up there. But not in our area. No. Please no. So,
well, the liability would probably be.
Yes, and then, you know, if there's an accident, how do you reach them? These are really steep areas, so they're very dangerous. And, you know, our EMS would have a tough time. Yeah. So it's all good. We've been, the town is busy, and the issues that come up are very diverse. We've got a balanced budget. Taxes, on average, we're maintaining what Linda Puglisi started.
Yes.
We're keeping it under 1% on average each year. We've never exceeded the tax cap. Awesome. Although we're facing the same pressures homeowners are with 8% inflation, it's hard to keep taxes down less than 1% when everything costs 8 or 10% more.
Yeah.
This year, the health insurance that we provide, we have 200 employees, went up 15%.
Ugh.
And that's just one expense. Our liability insurance that we have to carry went up significantly. And we talked about paving roads. The cost of asphalt because of oil has gone up. So it's really hard to keep the engine running with everything costing more. But so far we've been good. We've been successful.
Excellent. Yeah. Now, with the price of housing going up, does that also increase people's taxes?
Not really. No,
Okay.
they're assessed on their lot, on the size of the house. That has not affected the assessment. No.
All right.
Yeah. Cortlandt is, I would say, moderate in price. It's more expensive than some, but not as bad as Lower Westchester, where those who can commute to the city in a half hour, they pay for it. Their homes, Scarsdale and Mamaroneck, much more expensive from here. The further out you get on commuting, the more reasonable your price is.
Yeah. Well, that was a big reason Peekskill wound up putting some good-looking buildings up.
Big. They're expanding very quickly.
Yeah. Which is a good thing.
I guess for them.
Yeah.
I don't want that much growth here in Cortlandt. I kind of like our green space. And,
I do too.
Cortlandt, I think, is unique in that some towns are suburban, some are rural. We're kind of in the middle.
Yes.
We got nice-sized lots and a little land between homes and privacy and trees and rocks and that beauty. And I don't want to have, Long Island cookie-cutter homes. And I think there's land and there are homes that have been here for years, so rebuild them, reuse them. Let's not take over every square inch. So far, I've had a policy where for every acre that gets developed, I want to preserve an acre.
Okay.
And we're preserving as much or more than has been built on. And I want to maintain that going forward.
That's excellent.
Let the future have some green space and debate it.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Now, how is the relationship with the county police going?
Oh, that's wonderful. We've done so much with the county police. First of all, they're right here on campus.
Yeah.
Second of all, we rebranded the police barracks. Instead of county police, it says Cortlandt Barracks.
Awesome.
All the police cars now say Cortlandt on them, so people get used to seeing that. And we've expanded 2 new police services. One, the largest complaint I've heard was traffic and speeding. So we hired a special officer, a traffic and safety officer, Al Ramos, and he's wonderful. And then, through all the things that you heard, George Floyd and response from police, we hired what's called a CRO, a community resource officer, who has special training. Matt Worth is our CRO. And his whole job is to de-escalate situations, to go and calm it down.
Yeah.
It's not put the guns away, no macho, calm it down, let's solve this. And it's worked very well. These are great officers. And
so
my goal would be for everyone in town to know the officers here in the county. They're lovely people, they're dedicated. I've gotten to know them,
Well, they're here to make things, like you say, calm, and please, with the speeding, oh my goodness.
We are going to be enrolling this summer a Slow Down Cortlandt campaign, and the county police have been very helpful with that.
Excellent.
We use machines that will record how fast you're going. They'll take your picture. We also I've been working with the school board, Hendrick Hudson, to get the county to approve what are called stop arm cameras. All the school buses will have a camera on it. You pass a school bus, you'll get caught. We are going to slow down traffic. Right. We are going to enforce the rules. Excellent. We're not here to ticket our own residents, but we're here to make sure that the roads are safe.
And make people safe.
You'll see lots of cameras, you'll see lots of signage, speeding signs, and you're going to see county cars all over the place.
Excellent. Richard, thank you. It was a pleasure. Thanks for giving us all that information.
Oh, my pleasure,
Everything
Victor.
Everybody needed.
Thank you for doing this. It's a wonderful service you do to the community to let us talk about ourselves and what we're doing.
Great.
I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm Victor Margiotta. This is Community Show. Please get involved. Thanks for watching.